to integrate email newsletters into their inbound marketing strategy. They may argue that email newsletters are time-consuming and don't offer enough return on investment. Maybe they feel that Instagram is glossier and Twitter is flashier when it comes to attracting and retaining new business. However, by disregarding the power of email marketing done correctly, companies are missing out on one of the most successful components of a winning marketing strategy. In 2019, 80% of marketers reported an increase in email engagement. So, where do you start? Given the popularity of social media and online advertising as ways of generating business right now, it's tempting to think of the humble e-newsletter as something rather quaint and outdated. This is a big mistake. Even with the huge range of other marketing and advertising options now available, email marketing can be a fantastically effective way to generate revenue, and one you don't want to miss out on. According to inbound marketing experts HubSpot, email has an ROI of around 4,200%. And Statista's research indicates that the number of email users worldwide is set to reach 4.6 billion by 2025. Given these sorts of numbers, it's clear that every email address you capture has a monetary value, and that email is still a highly popular communication channel. First, start with the most important thing, your data. Before you think about how you're going to send an e-newsletter, you need to think about the who, the individuals that you'd like to communicate via email. To send the most relevant e-newsletters that generate the most revenue, you need as good a database as possible. Now, a lot of businesses have their contact email addresses tucked away in a messy spreadsheet somewhere, or more likely, spread across several very messy spreadsheets. Or it might even be the case that a lot of email marketing data has been captured in physical format, for example, via application forms, customer files, or other types of paperwork. Regardless of where your email addresses live, it's a good idea to digitize and consolidate all of them into one clean, well-organized database before you try to send any newsletters to the contacts on them. Next, ensure that your email database is segmented as well as possible. This means putting a field or column into your spreadsheet that you use to categorize people as leads, current customers, past customers, and so on. How far you take this is really up to you. You could, for example, segment your mailing list exhaustively, storing information about product purchases, sign-up dates, demographics, etc. Or you can keep things simple. It will depend on the nature of your business and how targeted you ultimately need your mailouts to be. Either way, the basic aim of this exercise is to get your data into shape so that you can send the right message to the right person at the right time. When you've finished your database preparation, you should have a spreadsheet that contains all your clean, segmented data in one place. This is your mailing list, which can now be uploaded to an email marketing app. Second, create your content plan and newsletter schedule. The next step is to plan your communication very carefully. This means creating an e-communication schedule that maps out what content you're going to put in your emails, who you're going to send them to, and when you're going to send them. You can then refer to this e-comms schedule throughout the year and ensure you have all the necessary content ready to go well in advance of each newsletter's broadcast. And because you have segmented your data nicely in advance, you will be sending your beautiful, interesting e-newsletters to precisely the right group of recipients. Third, pick the right app for sending your newsletter. Many small business owners still think that sending e-newsletters means compiling a list of email addresses and then copying and pasting them into the BCC field of a clunky-looking Outlook message. This is a very time-consuming way to go about things, and it's also highly ineffective. It doesn't allow you to send very professional-looking e-newsletters. It prevents you from accurately measuring important stats like open rates and click-throughs. It increases the likelihood of your email triggering spam filters, and it means that you're not availing of sophisticated email marketing features like autoresponders or split testing. Accordingly, it is a much better idea to use a dedicated email marketing tool for sending your e-newsletters, one that lets you send HTML newsletters. HTML newsletters, as the name suggests, uses HTML code to display text and graphics in a way that matches your corporate branding. There are many web-based solutions that you can use to send HTML newsletters. Popular options include GetResponse, Aweber, MailChimp, and Campaign Monitor. All the apps mentioned will allow you to import the database that you created at the outset of the process and make use of a range of attractive newsletter templates that will display correctly across all device types. You'll want to send proper HTML e-newsletters that stand the greatest chance of being delivered and, crucially, read. It's important to note that these tools don't require you to know anything about the HTML code to use them. You simply use a drag and drop tool to design your newsletter, and the app creates all the necessary HTML automatically in the background for you. Fourth, choose or design an email newsletter template. Once you've decided on which email marketing app you're going to use, you need to sort out how your newsletters are going to look. The good news is that all of the solutions mentioned provide a wide range of professionally designed newsletter templates that you can use as the starting point of your e-newsletter design. Once you've picked one, you can then tweak its design elements using a drag and drop editor. This ensures that your e-newsletter design is consistent with your brand. You can then save and reuse this as your own template for your future newsletters. If your design skills are not particularly strong, you could consider hiring a designer to create bespoke coded e-newsletter templates. But in most cases, you should be fine with using one of the options available from your email marketing app's template library. Fifth, embed sign-up forms on your website. All the major email marketing tools make it easy to embed sign-up forms for your mailing list on your website. Usually, this just involves grabbing a snippet of code and adding it as an HTML block on your website. Make sure you do this, as it is one of the best things you can do to grow your mailing list. Ideally, you should have a sign-up form for your e-newsletter on every page of your website, and you should also consider using pop-up boxes or certain pages of your site to maximize the number of sign-ups to your mailing list. Sixth, use landing pages that maximize sign-ups. If you use online ads to grow your mailing list, make sure that the landing pages you use for your campaigns are as strong as possible. When somebody clicks on your ad, they should be taken to a page that encourages them to take one specific action: signing up to your mailing list. This generally means building landing pages that don't contain a navigation bar or links to any other parts of your site. Everything should be about focusing a visitor's attention onto a sign-up form. These types of landing pages tend to be known as squeeze pages. You literally squeeze the user onto your mailing list. Some email marketing tools like GetResponse and MailChimp provide you with built-in landing page builders. But if your email marketing tool doesn't come with this functionality, you can use third-party tools like Instapage or Unbounce to create them. Seventh, test your emails carefully. By now, you should have a clean database, an e-communication schedule, an email marketing app, a template, and effective sign-in forms and landing pages. So it's finally time to start sending some e-newsletters. But it's really important to send them in the best way possible, and this involves some testing. There are generally 3 types that need to be taken care of here. The first test you'll need to do on any newsletter you create is a simple one. You need to make sure that your e-newsletter is arriving safely in inboxes. Professional email marketing solutions always let you send test versions of your newsletters, so use this functionality to send a test message to a few different types of email clients: Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, etc., and check that it's not being routed into your junk. Secondly, check that your e-newsletter is displaying correctly. How your e-newsletters display in different contexts can vary considerably. Sometimes an email that looks great in Outlook can look terrible in Gmail, or the desktop version of a message can look fantastic while the mobile version is all messed up. As email marketing apps have become more sophisticated over the years, this is less of a problem than it used to be. Number 8, measure success. Most e-newsletter tools come with comprehensive reporting functionality. After sending an e-newsletter, you should be able to access statistics that tell you the measured performance of your e-newsletters. The key things you usually need to look at are open rates, click-through rates, and unsubscribed rates. You can use these statistics to help you create better e-newsletters that generate more conversions in the future. For example, you might notice that a particular type of email subject line results in more opens. You might discover that buttons drive more click-throughs to your site than text-based links, or vice versa. You might find that emails about certain topics lead to a lot of unsubscribes. You might notice that a plain text email generates more sales than one filled with images. You might find that a particular sender name results in better conversion rates. Point number 9. Make the most of autoresponders and marketing automation. A fantastic way to send e-newsletters involves autoresponders, or drip campaigns, automated emails that you can program so that when somebody signs up on your mailing list, they automatically receive messages of your choosing at intervals of your choosing. And point number 10, make it easy to share your newsletters. Most email marketing tools allow you to add forward to a friend or social media sharing buttons to your e-newsletters. So add them. It means that your content and offers get a good chance of being seen by an audience outside of your mailing list, and may also result in new people joining your list as a result of word-of-mouth activity. And finally, follow best practice. Every time you create or send an e-newsletter, you should ensure that you are obeying the law and not over-communicating with your subscribers. Otherwise, you run, at best, a higher unsubscribed rate, and at worst, you face your email marketing app account being suspended, fined, or legal action. There are 9 important things that I suggest you do to follow best practice and the law. When you capture email addresses, make it clear on any sign-up forms and landing pages that people are subscribing to your mailing list. Include a privacy policy on your website, and ideally place a link to it right beside any sign-up forms. Don't spam. Always ensure that anyone on your list is actually signed up to it. Don't over-communicate. Leave gaps between messages. Always send relevant, interesting content to people on your mailing list. This will minimize unsubscribes. Always make it easy for people to unsubscribe. Add an email signature to your messages. This can reinforce your brand identity and build trust. Be very aware of data protection legislation, particularly GDPR and CCPA. Back up your mailing list regularly so that if you ever lose access to your email marketing tool account, you still have a copy of it.